Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
Google processes 8.5 billion searches a day. So how do you optimise your website to stand out and rank at the top of Google's search engine results pages? From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. When someone enters a query into Google, they're telling you exactly what they want, which is extremely powerful when it comes to building customers and traffic over the long term. So SEO, or search engine optimization, is the selection of strong keywords and a myriad of other free or low-cost activities designed to help you reach people on their journey from intent to consideration and finally transaction. Lee Haney is an SEO and analytics specialist and the founder of Datacraft Digital. And as he says, SEO is a slow burn that still requires management, monitoring and measurement on an ongoing basis. He breaks down for me some of the key SEO activities and how businesses can begin to integrate them into their marketing strategy. But first, Lee explains the core difference between SEO and SEM.
SEO is about optimizing an actual website and influencing its perceived authority so that it can gain ranking and visibility within the organic search results. So these are non-paid results on Google that appear every time you search, and it's up to you as the website owner to actually optimize for that. You can't pay to actually appear in those results, which is the key distinction between the SEM or the paid search ads versus the SEO, where you can pay to have your ads appear within Google or Bing for certain keywords.
And simple question, how does SEO work?
Simple question. How many days do we have for the interview? Wow, it's SEO, if I have to go back one step and say, how does search engines work from an organic perspective? And I was trying to do this in one sentence. Google and Bing, their mission is to provide answers to people's questions. And their objective is to provide the best answer from the whole internet. So they build algorithms, they actually crawl the whole internet constantly to index all the pages out there. And then when somebody asks a question, so does a search in Google, their algorithms decide what is the most relevant response, be it a web page, to that query, ordered from first through to thousands. So search engine optimization is about understanding what questions your customers are asking of Google that are relevant to your business, and then looking at how you can optimize your presence online to appear organically within Google. So to keep Google's algorithm happy so that Google thinks that you've got an answer, be a page worthy of appearing there. And it's hard because it's super competitive. It's very strategic. It's about what is the strategy that's going to get a business there. And you're competing against everyone. You're a small business competing against big corporates. You're a local business competing against all the other local businesses in your area. And so, what are the steps and tactics you can take on your journey to improve that visibility?
Well, Lee, SEO is very layered and it can be quite complex, but let's talk about a few of these different layers. Let's start with website speed. According to eConsultancy, 40% of people abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. How is the speed of our website something that we can influence?
Right, and that's exactly right. This is a big challenge for mobile sites too. If it takes too long for a page to load, people are time poor, they're going to leave. And there's plenty of stats out there around the change to conversion rate if you add 1 second to load times and that sort of thing. Now, look, it's challenging as a small business, especially if your website is one of many things you do, and you may have outsourced that to someone else. But one of the quick wins for any business is, and I see it all the time, is even just optimizing images, because they can often be the heaviest part of the page in terms of how much has to download, for instance, to a mobile device. So if you can start with things like that and say, can I make this image a little bit smaller? or does it need to be this large? There are tools to optimize some images online as well. And as sites get more sophisticated, or the front ends get more sophisticated, there's a huge amount of other things that more of a developer needs to look into, and that could be around server settings and caching, compression, lazy loading, all these fancy terms, but it's a game of small percentages that actually improves the overall performance. Google have called out an actual page experience as a ranking factor now, because they want to make the web faster as well. And so they're looking at what they call core web vitals to say, how well does your site perform at key performance areas? Ultimately, it just comes down to making sure that your customers are able to engage with the site and not left waiting.
Well, another one is when developing website copy. The new SEO rule is to write for humans first and search engines second. Can you explain this rule and how we go about selecting the right keywords?
Sure. So SEO 2002 might have been very much about keyword stuffing, getting as many keywords into the content as possible. But new SEO, it's more a case of good SEO as well.
Yeah.
You are writing for your customer, and think of the search engine, Google being as a customer, and you want them to understand what your content's about, what your product's about, and why it's worthy of potentially ranking. A good way to think about this in the sort of SEO 2022 is to think of topics rather than keywords. What is the broader topic cluster that you're trying to target? Because people search for crazy variations of the same thing based on intent all the time, but what you're optimizing for is the topic, and that could be the product you're selling, the service you're offering, the information you're trying to impart. But that topic could have 100 different keywords or multiple questions as subtopics within that, and that's where you win the game from an SEO perspective, especially in the content side of things, is to really hone in on that side of things.
And how do you go about honing in on those topics and keywords?
The best thing you can do in SEO as a small business is just actually start searching for your products. Do it in incognito mode, so you're trying not to get too personalized results for your business, but just start searching for your products, see what else is out there, see what your competitors are doing. Often for certain queries, you'll get a little search snippet feature box, which actually has people also ask. So you might type one query and then you might get a box appear in the search result which has a couple of other questions that people are asking. And these are absolute gold when you're trying to think through how broad is this topic that I'm trying to target, because it starts to give you ideas of what other questions. If you're writing a piece of content, you can then look at this and say, okay, well, if my content answers these questions as well that Google already telling me people are asking, then I've got a really good chance of actually appearing there from the algorithmic perspective because I'm answering the question. So you can start that's manual, you can start diving that way. The search tools like SEMrush.com have, you can see what questions are being asked for a certain broad term that can help you sort of analyze that data as well. And just like forums are an interesting place as well, and social. It might be a B2B forum about your industry. What questions are people asking other users in the forum? Can that actually form the basis of a really good piece of content for the website? So it's very much about the research and understanding the search demand. We sort of call it data-driven topic research, if you like. Like it's real-world examples of your customers and people asking questions, condensing that down into an actual article that answers those questions.
And how important is it to link to other sites and for other sites to link to your content?
When Google first started, it was all about links and PageRank, and that informed the algorithm. Like the site with the most relevant links ranked the highest. It's evolved a long way from there, and there's hundreds of different ranking factors, but link is a signal that is still super powerful from an SEO perspective. A good link anyway. There are bad links as well, which can actually harm the business. So having links must form part of an SEO strategy to a degree. A page can rank without links because it's still seen as valuable in the context of a broader site, but you still need to think about internal, like inbound links for links from other sites as helping you grow that, what they call authority in the eyes of Google and the algorithm. Now, linking out, to be totally upfront, it's not really a ranking factor. Some people would argue otherwise, but linking out is really, if you're adding value to your content, so you're linking out to a source of maybe some statistics or further information for your user, then that's exactly what you should be doing. That helps the person who's reading that content actually delve a bit deeper if they're interested. And that's what search engines want to see, because that helps the algorithm say, well, if people are linking to a resource because it's valuable, then yeah, sure, that should actually rank higher. So don't just throw in links for the sake of it because you think, it might give me a ranking boost. But if something's valuable to you and you think it'll be valuable to your users, then link away.
And Lee, what's the best way to integrate social media in the way that works best for SEO?
Content amplification. By that I mean, if you're producing great content, be it on the blog, on the website, and great social content to promote the website, that can help build visitation to the website and potential links as well. So social is a great way to amplify what you're already creating and doing.
Well, Lee, finally, do you have any other SEO call-outs for business owners to consider as they begin to put an SEO strategy together?
Look, I think definitely think mobile experience first and foremost with your websites these days. I mean, from an SEO perspective, that's what Google is pretty much indexing now in terms of that's what they're looking at when they decide what's ranking. So make sure you're keeping an eye on how mobile is looking in terms of design, and you're not just looking on a desktop, for instance, because that's going to be critical. Write content that addresses topics and related questions and focus less on the individual keyword. This is probably a critical one. And always think about your customer's intent. So what are they searching for? What are their needs? What are their desires and wants when they're on a search engine? Because if you understand that and you've got a sense of that, that can really help you with everything from a content strategy and on-site perspective. Just probably a quick one too, on the local search side of things. So local business, really critical that you claim your Google business listing and keep your profile up to date. So contact information, hours of operation, add in things like special hours on holidays and that sort of thing, but really focus on keeping the Google My Business up to date. Make sure your business profiles in other the Facebooks and like the Yellow Pages and things like that as well, but really own those and keep them current. And keep an eye and manage your reviews. So especially Google reviews, because they're very prominent in search when someone's searching for your business. So make sure that you're responding to positive reviews, querying to maybe less positive or negative reviews, and just keeping on top of that, because that can really help from a local search perspective if you're trying to get into the map results or the local map pack.
That was Lee Hannay, founder of Datacraft Digital. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.